really does make sense. The king throne, please me. Like, okay, everybody, here's Eminem sitting on his king throne of attention going towards me, please me. But then I thought of like the cranked up DIs.
Right.
Like consume, play, blast, or even like you, where it's sleep, blast, play.
Right. DI, extrovert.
Yes.
Yeah, consume, play, blast, sleep, blast, play.
Because
Floris is TI, consume, sleep.
He's consume, sleep, play.
So he's describing that of himself because Floris is not running around saying, give me attention. He's sitting there going, give me attention.
Right. No, categorically it would be the same thing, but I really think that how you solve problems as a DI, like in a negative way, how you solve problems in a negative way depends a lot also on all the activation. Because if you're double activated DI, you are probably going to be more along the lines of just
because the outside world is hard.
Yes.
For me, sleep, blast, play, and the consume, play, blast is like, I'm going to build an RC channel with millions of views. There, now can you see me?
Right.
Now do you see how awesome I am?
Right. That's so much so. So yeah, the Joker character is what I thought of for the opposite. So it feels like you are going to have that same struggle with DI. Introverted version is the king, please me, and the extroverted version is the I want to scream in your face.
So this one, there's like the extroverted Karen.
Yes.
And then you're not the extroverted Karen.
I would say I'm not the most introverted Karen because I do have masculine blast still, but
if there's a spectrum.
There's a spectrum.
There's the Karens. Hold on, let me just take that in for a minute. There's all my buddies.
Yes, there they all are.
There's the crazy Karens.
I saw this one. They're doing a good
job.
This
one's got a gat. God damn. Karen with a gat. Hey, you could talk your way out of that one. Fucking A. It's just over something so stupid. Just some guy walking in the fucking parking lot putting his groceries away or something.
I know. And 1,000% of the poor Karens it really does have to do with a very weak DI. They're terrified. Something scared the shit out of them earlier, in their lives. It has nothing to do with the random person walking along. But that's where they're going to use their blast. And a lot of them will use blast. A lot of them will get out the rules. I'm going to go off of the rules and I'm going to start spouting shit.
This is the Shan type. It's almost like an INFP version of an EJ.
I called it passive-aggressive Patty.
Yeah. It looks like a little T&E.
It does look T&E. It looks like a little, maybe visual T&E. I'm offended. Right. So I was thinking of what is the horrible phrase that my brain will constantly say all the time?
Not
quietly?
Allowed, offended. Yeah.
Not allowed, and I'm offended. I very easily get offended. I am the offended queen. And also, I do get the I'm being attacked. I definitely feel that way, but I don't have the firepower that the Karens do when solving problems. I kind of wish I did because, honestly,
I know what you're talking about. So
a lot of them get shit done.
The way I'm kind of processing what you're saying. It feels like in UFC where you have everybody's got to do ground attack and stand up, and so some guys will come from wrestling backgrounds and they'll have to learn stand up, or some guys come from Muay Thai and have to learn wrestling. So they all have man, if this goes bad, I'm going to take you to the ground.
Yes.
Or if this goes bad, I want to be on the feet. So it's for me as a extroverted DI, it's I don't want to go into my inner world to battle somebody or in an introvert. I want to let's get out in the open. I'll meet you at the field. Let's fight. And this is what these Karens are doing because they're presumably having play and blast in the top 3.
Right.
They're like, if I'm getting triggered, everybody gets triggered. I want to fight you extrovertedly.
Right.
And this one is, I'm getting triggered, and I don't want to fight extrovertedly. I want to fight introvertedly.
Yes,
so
I will sit here and stew.
Passive-aggressive, mope, whatever the introverted war is. That's what these guys are. That's what he's doing all day long.
Yes.
And then he'll do the extroverted blast in his rap music.
Right.
In a, what the hell was that?
Right.
Because you'll still do this.
Yes.
But it's in a
eventually.
your logic is gone.
Oh, I know.
Well, it's the same with theirs, but it's in a demon. It's weird.
That means that I've been sitting in a closet crying and stewing for months.
It's mostly that, yeah.
Yeah. But so just looking at these, bringing up some of the people that I love, as well as are kind of comical, I think it has a lot to do with where your animals are at.
Look at that. That's. I see that face. Man.
Yeah, it's very meh.
I'm doing my workouts.
Yeah, right.
I got a Rambo headband on. Now you'll pay attention to me with my awesome muscles.
Yes, that's what I see. So you're just looking at, I think it has a lot to do with the introverted animal last. So if you have play and blast in the top 3, that's what we talk about all the time.
Right,
your way of solving problems is to come out extrovertedly and fist fight. I'm gonna I'm going to yell in your face. Bo Burnham, I'm going to yell in your face. Please give me attention. I see that one a lot from the Consume Play Blast. Like, please pay attention to me. And the Consume, it's like, I will have an absolute game for you to pay attention to me with the Consume
Right.
Blast.
And this is signifying play last, blast last.
Yeah, the curves.
For me with the Consume, as a demon, which is an introverted function, to have that dead last,
yeah,
I will always mistake my sleep for consume.
I noticed that.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm in my introverted world just fine. Like, you're just looking at your save or sleep, dumbass. There's a whole nother thing that I can't even see because it's consume last.
Right.
At least the sleep last, they're like, oh yeah, I see what I'm not seeing. I can see the sleep that I'm not doing.
Right. I
Consume
think it
last.
is easier when it's like consume, sleep, play last, because you're not mistaken. It's like both of your extroverted animals are demons. So
right.
Yeah, for me, I often mistake my play for
Totally.
I'm blasting. It's like, no, you're just play energy.
Totally, I see
you
that.
did not prepare. You have not concluded shit. You're just getting moving.
It is weird to see because it'll throw me off where I will project and feel like you have Savior Blast because I'll see you doing extroverted shit with the play.
Right.
But then once it's something that's needed to be blast, like it's just like, hey,
it's like a giant
why didn't you
brick
say
wall.
anything? Why didn't you do anything? Why didn't you jump in, get started? Like, oh,
so
that's
bad.
blast for you.
Right.
Even though you're doing all this extroverted play shit.
Right. So of course, like, it's going to be a burden for everybody that has that. Like, it's got to be so hard for the DIs that want the respect that don't actively do anything, and it's got to be really hard for the DEs that are like, I want to care about other people, but like I keep kind of coming at them and smashing in their faces and stuff. But just all these different ways to deal with it. And I have heard from a lot of people that have either consume last or sleep last is that space when they're alone is a terrifying space. That they're scared to go be in that inner world. Right.
For me, it would be, it's not alone with my sleep. It's alone with like do some research or studying of what I want. And then I get very tantrum. Like, I don't know what I fucking want. I don't know what I want to learn. I don't know what shirt to get. How am I supposed to fucking know?
Right.
It gets very frustrating.
Frustrating, right.
Yeah,
Mine
it's
gets
always-
cauldron, yours
yeah.
gets frustrating. Yeah.
And then I'm like, I got to get up and go do something. The lawn needs to be mowed. Like,
I
you don't have a lawn
wish,
anymore.
right?
Well, the neighbor's lawn is a mess. I got to go talk to him. Just that. I'd rather do that than find a new fucking shirt for me.
I know, right? All right, so just looking at the spectrums here now. Obviously,
getting me fucking triggered and processed over here.
Good.
Inner therapy.
Yes, that's what the point of this is.
Please, let's move on with the show for others. To listen to this bullshit.
Right. Okay. So these spectrums, take the two sides. You're gonna have to like.
Oh, I know.
I
know. It's like, yeah. I know what you're saying. Like these two are doing that.
They split. Yeah, they go over them. Is the cranked up DE doesn't realize they're offended because they're still offended.
Because the inner world is a demon.
Right.
They don't even realize they're triggered.
They don't know I'm offended, so they turn it into social justice bullying.
Right.
Because they got offended about something, and they'll turn it into I'm helping the
But
tribe.
they don't realize that they are scared. They are feeling insecure. They're just staring at, well, the other guy is like, oh, no, I'm doing fine. My inner world is not scared and a drunken mess.
Right.
It's the other guy is obviously causing the problem. And that's the joke of the Karens. Everyone's like, outside world's actually kind of doing okay. Your inner world that you've never been to this month is a fucking flaming mess. You might want to check that out.
Right.
Karen.
If it is held in the darkness, it's scary. You end up causing insane problems these Karens do. Like, that's what ends up happening.
Right.
You know? But if you're constantly going, I'm going to go connect with other people who already share in the consciousness of the same burden, it normalizes it. It makes it something where you're allowed. It's like therapy, but it's a constant, normal, common, making it common to talk about mental health.
As long as you're with people that are also playing their cards as well.
Exactly.
You know.
One of the things you notice about children, for example, is if children don't get enough good attention, they'll certainly go after bad attention because the fundamental human currency is attention. And it's one thing to be hated, but it's another thing entirely to be ignored. And I would say, generally speaking, if you put people in a corner and you made them choose, you know, if they had knowledge that was transparent to themselves, you said, well, would you rather be ignored or hated? They'd take hated because at least then you exist, because you exist at least in some part in your relationship to other people. And so some of the bad behavior is rewarded precisely for that reason, is that it does draw attention and that does make you signify. And you think about the people who do heinous crimes, like the school shooters, people like that who do these things that are almost inconceivable. A huge part of the drive for that is fantasies about notoriety and the emergence from obscurity and anonymity. Even though it's notorious, it's hatred, the idea is I'd rather be dead and infamous than alive and anonymous.